You enter the room before your body arrived. Your reputation had already taken 5. You turned every dinner into your own parade. Repeated every clever little joke you made. You never asked a question you could not answer. You treated every mirror like a private dancer. You do not need affection, you need a crowd. Even your whisper is unnecessarily loud. Your ego needs a microphone. It cannot stand to be alone. Every small thought becomes a speech. Every quiet room is yours to preach. Your ego needs a microphone, but darling, I am hanging up the phone. You told me I was lucky to stand by your side, then took both seats and called it pride. You kissed your reflection before kissing me. That was the moment I finally could see. You want devotion without a cost. Keep talking, darling, I am already lost. Your ego needs a microphone. It cannot stand to be alone. Every small thought becomes a speech. Every quiet room is yours to preach. Your ego needs a microphone, but darling, I am hanging up the phone. You can tell the ceiling how wonderful you are. Tell every window you should be a star. I found the exit while you took your bow. You have your favorite audience with you now. Your ego needs a microphone, so give it everything you own. Every small thought can fill the air. I will not be waiting in the chair. Your ego needs a microphone, and I am finally going home. Keep talking, darling. Enjoy the show. I left 10 minutes ago. The evening was flying till she arrived. Then every careful little rule came alive. She climbed on the table with a glass in her hand, said, "Tonight one red heel remained on the ground. Some called it madness, some called it art. I called it the night that woke my heart. High heels on the drum kits, she made the whole room rise with it. No permission, no regret, we are still talking about her, yeah. High heels on the drum kits, one perfect moment, nobody could stop it. The room went quiet, but never the same. Nobody even learned her name. I came in late with a dangerous smile. The room went quiet for a little while. You said a lady should know her place, so I drew a lightning bolt across my face. You tried to hide me behind the curtain. I stepped into view just to make you uncertain. Turn up the heat, let the whole room shake. I did not come here to behave. Lipstick on the amplifier, one red kiss and the room caught fire. You can call me loud, you can call me vain, I will leave my mark and do it again. Lipstick on the amplifier, I am the spark and the live wire. Your little rules were a tired old play. I tore up the script and walked away. Every whisper turned into thunder. Every warning only pulled me under. Raise up the lights, let the truth appear. I sound even better when you disappear. Lipstick on the amplifier, one red kiss and the room caught fire. You can call me loud, you can call me vain, I will leave my mark and do it again. Lipstick on the amplifier, I am the spark and the live wire. I was never made for standing still, never learned to bend against my will. Write my name where the brave can see. Your perfect little world looks better with me. Lipstick on the amplifier, higher and higher and higher. You can shut the door, I will break the frame. Every crowded room will remember my name. Lipstick on the amplifier, I am the spark and the live wire. One red kiss before I go. Now everybody knows. Ask me where I was last night. I have a story dressed in light. The clock struck 12, the window broke. Somebody vanished behind the smoke. I lost one glove and found 3 rings. Do not ask me what any of it means. I never lie without a little style, so take a seat and stay a while. My alibi has sequins. It sparkles where the truth begins. I may have danced, I may have fled, I may have heard what nobody said. My alibi has sequins, and every shining thread has reasons. A taxi under colored lights. My alibi has sequins. It sparkles where the truth begins. I may have danced, I may have fled, I may have heard what nobody said. My alibi has sequins, and every shining thread has reasons. Check every pocket, follow every clue. You will find 100 stories, none of them true. I left no footprints, only a glow. And what really happened, you do not need to know. My alibi has sequins. It changes shape with every season. I may be guilty, I may be free, but no dull answer is coming from me. My alibi has sequins, and darling, that is all you are getting. Ask me again in the morning light. I will invent something twice as bright. She walked in tall, the ceiling moved. Everybody stared, nobody approved. Cherry black shadow over her eyes, a sweet little smile full of perfect lies. She took my seat and ordered for two, then leaned across the table and said, I know you. Every warning bell began to ring, but danger always knows how to sing. Trouble wears platform heels. She knows exactly how temptation feels. One step closer, one step gone. She leaves the lights and the trouble on. Trouble wears platform heels, and every promise bends and kneels. She knew the secrets under the floor, knew who was leaving through which door. She kissed my cheek like a signed confession, then vanished halfway through the question. I should have run when she called my name, but common sense never wins this game. Trouble wears platform heels. She knows exactly how temptation feels. One step closer, one step gone. She leaves the lights and the trouble on. Trouble wears platform heels, and every promise bends and kneels. Maybe she is wrong, maybe I do not care. Maybe I was waiting for someone like her. She steals the air wherever she goes and leaves one clue that nobody knows. Trouble wears platform heels. She makes the impossible look real. One step closer, one step gone. She leaves me wondering all night long. Trouble wears platform heels, and I would follow where she leads. The doorway closed, the room stood still. I swear I hear her footsteps still. clouds and leave mine behind. I fired Cupid from the band. He never followed any plan. He broke the rhythm, missed the cue, and made me fall for fools like you. I fired Cupid from the band. Now love can find me where I stand. He tried to argue, tried to make me cry, said lonely hearts would never survive. I told him freedom has a sweeter sound than waiting for the wrong one to come around. No more arrows in the dark. I will choose who gets my heart. I fired Cupid from the band. He never followed any plan. He broke the rhythm, missed the cue, and made me fall for fools like you. I fired Cupid from the band. Now love can find me where I stand. Maybe one day someone honest will appear, without a trick or a souvenir. No little angel pulling every string, just two clear voices choosing the same thing. I fired Cupid from the band. I finally took back my command. No broken rhythm, no false cue, no more falling just because he told me to. I fired Cupid from the band. Now love can meet me where I stand. Pack up your arrows, close the door. Your services are needed here no more. I left it hanging by the stairs. It disappeared while no one cared. Black velvet collar, crimson thread, the finest thing I ever had. Then there he stood beneath the light, wearing my jacket like it fit him right. He took my place, he took my style, then gave me back my own best smile. The headliner stole my jacket, walked out like he had always had it. He took the praise, he took the room, and left me standing with the costume crew. The headliner stole my jacket, so I stole the show and took it back. He strutted past with borrowed pride. look better left for dead. There was glitter in your hair and worried strangers everywhere. We started with a toast at 10. By midnight we had lost our friends. You climbed a fountain, missed the ground, and smiled while sirens gathered round. The nurse looked tired, you looked amused. I held your hand, completely confused. Confetti in the emergency room, bright little pieces in the middle of the gloom. You laughed and said, at least we made a scene. The strangest ending to the night we had dreamed. Confetti in the emergency room, love looks ridiculous under fluorescent moons. Your paper crown was torn into one half on me, one half on you. The doctor asked what happened there. We looked at each other and blamed the stairs. You squeezed my hand and whispered low, next time, darling, we take it slow. Confetti in the emergency room, bright little pieces in the middle of the gloom. You laughed and said, at least we made a scene. The strangest ending to the night we had dreamed. Confetti in the emergency room, love looks ridiculous under fluorescent moons. Years may pass and colors may fade, but I will remember the mess we made. The broken shoe, the paper crown, and how you kept laughing while they wheeled you around. Confetti in the emergency room, bright little pieces that refuse to lose their bloom. You laughed and said, we made it through. The strangest night became my favorite truth. Confetti in the emergency room, I would make the same mistake with you. There was glitter in your hair, and somehow love was waiting there. The door said private, the hour said late. Every sensible thought arrived too late. You wore a smile that belonged to trouble. I said one drink, then you poured a double. The corridor hummed with a distant roar. You took my hand and locked the door. I knew the answer before you spoke. Still I stepped closer through the smoke. Backstage with a bad idea, too close to leave, too loud to hear. You said tomorrow did not exist, then wrote your answer across my lips. Backstage with a bad idea, the worst decisions feel so clear. Your coat was hanging over my My good intentions were everywhere. A knock at the door, a voice in the hall. We held our breath and ignored it all. I knew the cost, I knew the game. Still I wanted you to say my name. Backstage with a bad idea, too close to leave, too loud to hear. You said tomorrow did not exist, then wrote your answer across my lips. Backstage with a bad idea. The worst decisions feel so clear. Morning came through a crack in the blind. You left your promise and coat behind. I should regret what we let begin, but some mistakes look good on the skin. Backstage with a bad idea. One reckless night, one stolen year. You said tomorrow did not exist, but every tomorrow remembers that kiss. Backstage with a bad idea. The worst decisions stay so clear. The door said private, the room was bare, but your dangerous laughter was still in the air. Is this thing working? Then told me we were through. I thought you meant the cable, I did not think you meant us two. You counted one, you counted two, then listed everything I do. The empty room heard every word, the strangest rehearsal ever heard. We broke up during soundcheck, no warning and no safety net. You said goodbye, I said again. The room replied and echoed when we broke up during soundcheck. Even the silence sounded upset. You handed back my apartment key, then asked for more of you and me. I tested every word you said, they all came back inside my head. You walked away before the show and left your voice in every row. We broke up during soundcheck, no warning and no safety net. You said goodbye, I said again. The room replied and echoed when we broke up during soundcheck. Even the silence sounded upset. But when the evening finally came, I stepped beneath the lights alone. I sang the truth you left behind and made the empty room my own. We broke up during soundcheck, but I survived the main event. You said goodbye, I found my voice. The empty room became my choice. We broke up during soundcheck, best thing you ever did by accident. You said, is this thing working? It works much better without you. Give me the noise, give me the light. Tell me I matter for one more night. their hands in the air, by strangers shouting like they really care. The louder they call, the less I can hear the little honest voice I have buried for years. One more bow, one more taste. I know it fades, but I cannot wait. Applause is a dangerous drug. One little taste is never enough. It lifts you high, then steals the floor. You hear the silence and beg for more. Applause is a dangerous drug. It feels like love, but it is not love. Somebody's note, I read every line, but the words will not float. The room is full, yet I sleep alone, surrounded by faces that never come home. One more smile for the photograph, hide the ache and make them laugh. Applause is a dangerous drug. One little taste is never enough. It lifts you high, you hear the silence and beg for more. Applause is a dangerous drug. It feels like love, but it is not love. When the last pair of hands fall still, will I remember who I was? When nobody calls, nobody cheers, will I finally hear myself? Applause is a dangerous drug. I drank it down, but I woke up. It raised me high, then locked the door. I will not crawl back anymore. Applause is a dangerous drug. Tonight I choose something closer to love. Turn down the noise, turn down the light. Let me be human for one quiet night. Nobody knew the voice they heard. My picture was missing from every wall. Still I was the reason they came at all. I gave them the high notes, somebody took the praise. I smiled from the shadows for 100 days. I learned how to shine without being seen. I lived in the space between the scenes. The crowd never knew my name, but I carried the fire, I carried the flame. They sang every line that came from me, while another face took the victory. The crowd never knew my name, but the song remembers all the same. I watched from the side as the flowers arrived. They praised the illusion that I kept alive. No one saw the tears underneath my smile. No one asked why I stayed all the while. Tonight I step out where the truth belongs. No more hiding inside my songs. The crowd never knew my name, but I carried the fire, I carried the flame. They sang every line that came from me, while another painted smile began to fall beneath the letters 10 feet tall. Your goodbye came 5 minutes late. Outside the crowded theater gate, people passed and read my face like heartbreak was a public place. I tried to laugh, I tried to leave, but every light made it harder to breathe. Makeup running down the marquee, your final words still burning through me. The sign above said I was the star, but I had never felt so small by far. Makeup running down the marquee, everybody looked, but nobody saw me. A poster promised one more show. I stood beneath it, moving slow. My perfect picture smiled above, while I learned the ugly shape of love. The crowd went in, the doors were closed. I stayed outside with what nobody knows. Makeup running down the marquee, your final words still burning through me. The sign above said I was the star, but I had never felt so small by far. Makeup running down the marquee, everybody looked, but nobody saw me. Then rain arrived and washed the street, carried every painted tear from me. I watched my name shine through the storm and felt a different strength being born. Makeup running down the marquee, but your goodbye no longer owns me. The sign above still says I am the star. Tonight I finally know who you are. Makeup running down the marquee, everybody looked, now I can see me. My painted smile was washed away, a truer face remained by day. Turn every lens toward the wall. Do not make a picture of the fall. I held the smile until the door was closed. Then all the careful pieces came apart. The room was full of flowers and clothes, but nothing there could cover up my heart. Let me disappear without a scene. Not every wound when no one is around. They want the tears, they want the proof, a perfect tragedy beneath the roof. They sell the ache before it has a name, then ask why nothing ever feels the same. Close every curtain, dim every light. Let me belong to myself tonight. No cameras after the breakdown, no bright flashes while I come down. I gave you glamour, I gave you grace. Now give me one room without a face. No cameras after the breakdown. Let the truth arrive when no one is around. I am not a headline, not a post. Not every secret needs to be exposed. When I am ready, I will rise again. But healing does not need an audience. No cameras after the breakdown. I will stand when I am ready now. I gave you glamour, I gave you grace, but pain is not another public place. No cameras after the breakdown. I will choose when I return to town. Turn every lens away from me. Tonight, I need the right to be unseen. No final speech, no last parade. I left before the choice was made. They waited by the front door gate with questions, flowers, love and hate. I removed the jewels, wiped off the glow, and chose the hallway no one knows. Let them wonder where I went. I owe no one another event. Exit through the dressing room, leave the noise and leave the perfume. No grand farewell, no final scene, just one quiet door behind the dream. Exit through the dressing room. I am choosing life beyond the room. My name was shining on the street, but I was tired from head to feet. I folded every borrowed disguise and saw myself with unpainted eyes. The world can keep the empty throne. Tonight, I wanna walk alone. Exit through the dressing room, leave the noise and leave the perfume. No grand farewell, no final scene, just one quiet door